Coming up on Fulton Today, Fulton commissioners and local mayors talk MARTA and transportation. We'll tell you what they had to say. And we'll tell you what county health officials are doing now about the community's heroin and prescription drug problem following President Obama's visit to Atlanta. Fulton Today starts right now. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Fulton commissioners and Fulton mayors take the first step in laying out the plan for MARTA and transportation projects. Now, this strategy session comes following what leaders say were the two big wins this legislative session. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega covered the meeting, and she has our update. Priscilla?
Improvements to roads, bridges, and other infrastructure. That's what Senate Bill 369 addresses. Now, the bill also calls for improvements to MARTA within the city of Atlanta. But more work is ahead before voters have the final say.
We can clap for that.
The meeting started with cheers for the passing of Senate Bill 369 and applause for the collaboration.
The communication that has been established and the collaboration has been very great to see occur.
What occurred was a passage by lawmakers. Now what's ahead is a vote by residents. Voters in jurisdictions outside Atlanta within Fulton County will decide on whether to increase the sales tax by 0.75 cents for transportation improvements.
You're talking about between $500 and $600 million that will be generated over a 5-year period that will support roads and bridges and bike paths and other infrastructure needs in our county.
And the city of Atlanta could see a half a penny increase specifically for MARTA.
The best solution was this bill, kind of a compromise that allows MARTA, to continue in Atlanta and grow. But over time, the rest of Fulton may decide to do that. But right now, they're putting their money into the roads and bridges mostly.
Now the cities will have to come up with a list of projects where those funds would go.
We will go back to our various cities, share the information with our councils and much of our citizenry to make sure that those lists that we have put together will meet the needs, but also not only the needs of today, but the needs of the future as well.
Then residents will vote on the tax increase in November.
And now it's about presenting solutions to the voters. They're actually going to provide relief and let them decide whether or not it makes sense to spend their money on these projects or not.
Now residents can give their opinion on which road improvements they would like to see at a number of public meetings. Now you can see a list of those meetings at fultoncountyga.gov. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Priscilla Ortega.
Thank you very much. First-time voters who plan to vote in the May 24th primary election better act fast. The deadline to register is April 26th.
First-time voters can register to vote online. They can also use a Georgia Votes app with their smartphone.
Election officials are also urging citizens to avoid the crowds and vote early. Early voting starts on May 2nd. There are 24 locations across the county to cast your ballot. Early voting is also a good time for seniors and citizens with disabilities.
If seniors, 75 years and older, or people with disabilities vote early, they get preferential status during early voting and can go to the front of the line. On election day, if seniors 75 years or older or people with disabilities vote, they get preferential status between 9:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m.
Early voting hours are from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Remember, if you don't vote early, you will have to cast your ballot at your specific precinct on election day. You can check with the Registration and Elections website and office for more information about your polling locations. Fulton health officials who were a part of the President's National Drug Abuse and Heroin Summit are now trying to determine how they can best address this growing issue. FGTV's Felicia Church has our story.
President Obama joined health officials as part of a panel discussion on prescription drug use. The discussion was sparked by the rising use of opioids like oxycodone and hydrocodone and heroin.
We do know that if you are poor, you are more vulnerable.
The president called the number of deaths from opioid use alarming and introduced new funding and initiatives to expand addiction treatment and increase coverage for mental health and substance abuse services, a plan county health officials applaud.
I think it would allow Fulton County to do so much. We could address the addiction population with more clinicians to the area. We could be able to do more outreach, which would be great for the communities, education, prevention, early intervention things would be able to happen.
President Obama believes expanding access to medication-assisted treatment for opioid use disorders is more effective at sustaining recovery and preventing overdoses. Another of the president's initiatives is to educate citizens on the concept that drug addiction is a health problem, not a criminal problem.
Well, now over the years, research and the mindset has sort of shifted to consider it as a disease, which would allow for more medical access and treatment.
Last year, deaths linked to opioids reached nearly 30,000, the highest number on record. County health facilities offer addiction services, substance abuse counseling, outreach, and case management. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Felicia Church.
Thank you very much. Young students go to the Fulton County Jail to learn the first-hand lesson of choices and consequences. ROTC members from Best Academy visited the Rice Street lockup. Sheriff Ted Jackson welcomed them to the facility as a part of the department's youth intervention program.
We want to educate young people into making good decisions and being involved in good behavior.
The tour included an alarming video about violence between two students and between police and citizens. Students also participated in a fire rescue.
Help me! Oh, fire!
The students put on gas masks to help the victim.
It was surreal. I felt as if it was real, that I was in there trying to get a guy out at the fire, And at that moment, I had to be brave and courageous, I had to work with my partner, make sure he's okay, stay calm and collected, and be confident because, and this is like a real life situation. It could happen at any time, but you have to be calm and confident. So for me, it felt so surreal. My adrenaline was running. It was great.
After all of the live demonstrations, the students went to visit one of their former classmates who apparently did not make the right decision and is being held on a felony charge at the jail. County leaders look to their workforce to tell them how to best improve customer service. 600 employees entered a contest to come up with the best customer service tagline. During a luncheon, the 5 finalists waited to hear which one of them took the top prize.
I actually entered 5 different slogans, but I came up with this because I had to think about what we do in South Fulton, the sewer department. We go out and we speak with these clients, our people down here all the time, and unless they can actually feel that when we get there we actually care about what's going on, why they feel the way they do, and we're trying to help them come to a better resolution, that's how I came up with this.
But what resonated through many of the entries and then ultimately the selection was this notion of caring, and that really driving us to provide superior service. So while this is only one element of what we'll be doing over the course of this year to emphasize customer service and our focus, provide training, look at policies that will help us as well as technologies, it does really start with that core notion of because we care, we serve. So it's been a great day here recognizing these folks and particularly picking that tagline.
The winning line will be used to promote customer service countywide. And still to come, Austria's recently appointed ambassador to the U.S. makes a stop right here in the Government Center. It's a part of our district-by-district coverage. Next. An international visitor makes a stop to the Fulton County Government Center. Here's this week's district-by-district coverage. We begin with the county's special international guest, Austrian ambassador to the U.S., Wolfgang Waldner, and staff made a courtesy visit to Fulton County's chairman and vice chair. The leaders were joined by Fulton's Economic Development Executive Al Nash in the chairman's office. The ambassador was recently appointed to the position and is making his rounds around the country. He's meeting with heads of states and local government leaders. The idea is to form partnerships.
As an ambassador of a country which is heavily relying on exports, we are always interested in investigating possibilities for investment for our companies to settle down and to do business with.
I mean, we are a very dynamic county that has cultural, economic offerings that are, I think, of appeal to governments around the world. And so we need to just let our light shine and let people know what we have from North Fulton to South Fulton and, of course, the city of Atlanta. So today, again, was a great exchange, and look for some visitors from Austria coming here sometime in the near future.
The ambassador met with President Obama for the first time just a few short months ago. In District 1, Vice Chairman Liz Hausman joined other government and civic officials during the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce Eggs and Enterprises Breakfast. The keynote speaker at the breakfast was Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle.
We are here to celebrate the Lieutenant Governor being with us to give us an update on the legislative session, and also to talk about a serious problem that we're facing in Fulton County and in North Fulton specifically, and that's an epidemic with heroin. And one of our resources, the Hub, it's a counseling center, received a very nice donation to assist in the effort from the Fulton DeKalb Hospital Authority.
About 9 out of our 10 calls are heroin related. We need to have the programs in place for them to not only find appropriate continuum of care, to not only address the addiction but the underlying causes as well as educational programs.
The Greater North Fulton Chamber hosts this breakfast regularly for its members. You can get more information by visiting their website. And finally, in District 6, seniors from the New Beginning Senior Center Chorus host a concert before their friends and family. The One Accord Choir has been practicing for weeks to perform their medley of gospel and uplifting songs.
We are on the same accord. Everybody's trying to work and get it done and uplifting the name of Jesus, and because we know who brought us this far.
I want to say congratulations and best wishes to the New Beginning Chorus for another great year of service, creativity, and generosity, which you have given not only to the New Beginnings family, but to the entire Fairburn community and the entire Fulton County community. We thank you so very, very much for all of the hard work that has come with this wonderful concert.
The chorus consists of participants at the New Beginning Senior Center. Many of them have been singing in the group for years. However, this was the first time that some of the members ever sung before a crowd. So how do you know when you're drinking too much? Details when Fulton Today continues. Drinking excessively can take a toll on one's health and well-being. So all this month, health officials are bringing awareness to alcohol-related issues, including alcoholism. Joining us now to talk about all of this is Linda Womack. She is with our health services team. Welcome to Fulton Today.
Thank you for having me.
So I know there's a lot to consider when you're talking about this topic, but can you generally and broadly talk about when drinking alcohol is considered to be a little excessive?
Drinking alcohol is considered excessive according to the National Institute of Health when a female has more than 3 drinks per day and when a male would have more than 4 drinks per day.
And what can you tell our viewers about the warning signs for possible alcohol abuse?
Some of the warning signs for alcohol abuse are going to be when someone has problems getting to work on time or getting to work at all, or school. when there are problems performing your work or school activities. That's a sign, that could be a sign. Also, when individuals are involved in risky behaviors or activities because of alcohol use, that's a sign that it's a problem. If a person has experienced legal problems and continues to drink, that's a sign that they may have a problem. If a person's family or loved ones has recognized some behaviors that indicate a problem with alcohol, they generally know, and it could be a problem.
And now let's switch gears now and talk about some of the county services that could help.
Fulton County offers services for adults and for children for mental health issues, including alcohol abuse. We have a center that specializes in alcohol and substance abuse at the Center for Health Rehabilitation. It's located at 265 Boulevard in Atlanta, and they can be reached at 404-613-1650. We have 2 adult community clinics which are located in East Point at 1636 Connolly Drive. That's the South Fulton Clinic. We also have the West Fulton Clinic, which is located in Southwest Atlanta at 475 Fairburn Road.
And Linda, before you go, you want our viewers to know what?
Alcohol abuse is a problem that affects all of us, either indirectly or directly, and it's a very treatable issue that our centers offer services that can help anyone who wants to recover from alcohol abuse or get treatment. I would encourage anyone experiencing problems with alcohol to seek help and change and improve the quality of their life with these services.
Clinical social worker Linda Womack, great information. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
For alcohol-related resources like webinars and videos, go to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention's website. Well, a new health report is showing that Fulton County is on the road to being a healthier community. The 2016 National County Health Rankings Report shows improvement when it comes to health factors like tobacco, drug, and alcohol use, as well as diet and exercise. Fulton is now ranked 22nd out of 159 counties for health factors. That's up 3 spots from last year. The health rankings did drop, however, when it came to health outcomes, which measure length and quality of life. Fulton dropped 5 spots to 25th. Now, this report is one of the tools county leaders use to identify which programs are effective and areas where improvements are needed. Fulton's health workers are getting out into the community more to give people a chance to get tested for HIV. Instead of having STD and HIV testing inside Aldridge Health Center, disease intervention specialists are setting up the mobile testing units outside for more visibility. Now, during the HIV testing event, everybody that stopped by was able to get free rapid HIV and STD testing. The health program manager for testing says Fulton County not only has high rates of HIV, but syphilis cases as well.
So it's so important that if you're sexually involved, if you have more than one partner, if you're dating, even if you're married, that if you have not been tested in the last 6 months, that you get to know your status, get tested.
The health department is continuing to set up mobile HIV testing sites at different locations while focusing on high-risk areas, including the 30303 zip code. If you want to know where the mobile unit will be next, you can contact the health department. And when we come back, a special performance for a very special audience. Stay with us. Well, here is a great story. Man's best friend is helping children to learn to read in a stress-free way. The Reading Pause program is available at a number of library branches, including the Sandy Springs location. Children read to trained and registered therapy dogs like this one called Freckles.
When they read to Freckles and come to a word they don't know, they will try to figure out the word, whereas if they're sitting next to me, then when they come to the word, they'll expect me to give them the word.
According to the Reading Pause program, animals are ideal because dogs are less intimidating than peers and allow children to read at their own pace. The program is free, but registration is required to reserve a 15-minute reading session. To see when the next sessions take place, you can go to afpls.org. And finally, a special jazz performance from one generation to another. The Georgia State University Jazz Band played for dozens of seniors at the Mills Multi-Purpose Facility. Members of the 20-piece jazz band performed many classics, including Satin Doll by Duke Ellington. The band singer performed some jazz favorites.
We had a really nice relationship with this center. We also go to different centers in the metro area that are close to Georgia State University. It's really important for us to reach out into the community, and it also gives us a chance to kind of have a little dress rehearsal and see what my kids can do, and the people here are incredibly appreciative.
After the big band performance, the conductor gave away tickets for future concerts to the seniors. The university has been conducting free performances at the Mills Center for about 15 years. Wow, they sound great. Well, before we go, our reminder that we'd like to connect with you online. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, anytime on our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.